You know what's a good show? Daredevil. My mom hasn't seen it, and I feel like rewatching it. So let's just go to Netflix and... Oh, right. It's not there anymore. This Netflix original series is now a Disney Plus exclusive. Well, I'm not subscribing to Disney Plus, and neither should you. The only thing you should be subscribing to is CinemaStan, the hottest new YouTube sensation. Comments on my first video from people who are definitely not just my friends say it's surprisingly fun and actually enjoyable. Surprisingly fun is the fourth best kind of fun, behind fun, really fun, and edgy. So yeah, I got the first season of Daredevil on Blu-ray instead. Wish I could get the whole series, especially since the third season is absolutely amazing, but no such luck. Collecting physical media can be really frustrating sometimes. And it shouldn't, because physical media is awesome. You can just own all your favorite movies and TV shows, instead of having to sign up for a million streaming services that can randomly remove the thing you want to see at any point for any reason. I don't know why more people aren't buying physical media. All you need is a bunch of disposable income and a lot of storage space. Daredevil is a Marvel series about a blind lawyer/mass vigilante named Matt Murdock, who has superhuman senses and below-average Catholic pain endurance.
Okay, I find a guy in a dumpster who turns out to be some kind of blind vigilante who can do all this really weird shit. Like smell cologne through walls and sense whether someone's unconscious or faking it. Slap on top of that, he can take an unbelievable amount of punishment without one damn complaint.
Well, that's parts of Catholicism.
Daredevil is known for its mature, grounded tone and violent action. Which makes it stand out among the more colorful, kid-friendly superhero stuff from Marvel. One of the show's most memorable and iconic moments is the end of Cut Man, the first season's second episode. This hallway sequence, where an injured Daredevil single-handedly beats up a bunch of Russian mobsters, is a oneer. A continuous shot with no visible camera cuts. More like no cut man, am I right? Over-editing and shaky camera work can be used as a crutch to cover up problems in a bad action scene.
You serious?
If you want to show off by doing a cool action scene oneer, then you need immaculate blocking and choreography. Not to mention actors willing and able to pull their weight, since covering up their stunt doubles is a lot trickier without any cuts. Daredevil's hallway oneer made such a lasting impression that every single season of the show after the first one has tried to one-up it, with longer, more elaborate, and ambitious oneers. But people seem to still love the original the most.
You see that microwave that hits the guy in the head? I've signed about 10 microwaves.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
It is also my personal favorite, and there's a good reason for that. Most people tend to focus on the fight in the hallway, which makes sense. It is the impressive, cool part of the sequence, and it was actually shot in one take. That's the part you can watch on Netflix's YouTube channel, even though the show itself is, again, no longer on the platform. Who the hell is Kick Buttowski? Are you fucking kidding? But the fight is only half of the hallway oneer. And if you ask me, the other half is just as important. Cut Man is the story of Daredevil fighting from underneath. The first episode ends on this hype montage of Matt training in the gym while we see the crime lords of the city making their crime plans with their crime friends. The evil Russians kidnap a kid, but Matt is standing by on a rooftop, listening in with his super hearing, ready to leap into action.
Later that night,
The second episode opens with Matt bleeding to death in a dumpster after the Russians kick the crap out of him. He spends most of the episode barely able to stand and walk, but that kid still needs his help, so he's not about to give up. This episode is a great showcase of both Matt Murdock's limitations and his strengths. For all his superhuman abilities and advanced training, he's still a regular guy. He bleeds and he makes mistakes, but he also keeps going, where few others would or even could. By the time we even get to the hallway, we know how much the deck is stacked against him. He's outnumbered, and badly hurt.
You've got 2 or 3 broken ribs, probable concussion, some kind of puncture wound.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
I've heard worse.
Holding on a shot is like holding your breath or trying not to blink. Once the episode steps into that hallway, it doesn't leave it. The camera holds and lets the tension build as we move around and get a feel for the space.
Тихо.
There's 3 rooms, one at the far end where they're keeping the kid, and one on either side where the bad guys are hanging around. We see how many there are, and a little voice in the back of your head goes, "Damn, that's a lot of guys. How is Matt gonna do this?" Our first hidden cut is right here. The sequence isn't a true oneer. It's stitched together in editing to look like one. And having a hidden cut here makes sense. Stunt coordinator Philip Silvera was already under a time crunch to get it done. The last thing you want is to redo the slow intro before the fight every time you reset. For the audience, it's imperceptible. To us, the camera is still holding, and the tension is still rising. This is where our hero, Matt, enters the hallway, right under a dim red exit sign. A subtle reminder that he can still walk away, but he won't.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
People focus on the fight, but the first part of the oneer builds up the fight brilliantly, setting the stage, establishing the stakes, and by refusing to cut away, it forces you to pay attention. The story of this fight can be summed up in one word: fatigue. You can see and feel Matt's exhaustion throughout the whole thing. And the lack of camera cuts makes you sit with it. He doesn't get a break, and neither do we. We're all stuck in this hallway until it's done. A great fight scene is as much about the hits as it is about the moments in between the hits. These little interruptions can add a lot of character to a fight. Sometimes they can even be the most memorable parts. If there's one moment I'll always remember from this hallway, it's Matt Murdock pushing his own body off the wall to get back into the fight.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The rest of the Daredevil oneers are pretty cool. They're impressive, exciting action sequences that keep upping the ante. The 11-minute prison oneer in Season 3 is especially awesome. But there is a downside to making oneers longer and more complex. The lack of cuts starts drawing attention to itself. I start to become aware that I'm watching a oneer. There's a not insignificant part of my brain going, "Wow, this is cool. How did they pull this off?" And that part of my brain isn't focusing on the story or the characters. The hallway oneer not only avoids that, it elevates the storytelling. The continuous shot makes Matt's exhaustion and pain all the more pronounced, and the fight itself all the more grueling, which, in turn, makes his victory that much sweeter. If I wanted to get someone hooked on this show, instead of a trailer, I could just show them this scene. There are times when something is so good, it just speaks for itself. Sony did this for Baby Driver, when they released the entire 6-minute opening scene online to promote the movie. They knew they had something great on their hands. Oh look, they also did the same thing with the first 8 minutes of Kraven the Hunter, a movie about one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I guess it must be pretty damn good too.
And now for something completely different.
Sometimes, filmmakers will stitch an entire movie to look like it's one shot. Like, for example, the Scott Adkins action movie called One Shot.
This is all just a big mistake. I am a businessman. I don't know these people. I don't know anything about bombs.
He knows where the bomb is, but we are running out of time. He is our one shot to fix this thing.
Scott Adkins is the king of direct-to-video action movies and the master of kicking people. I haven't even scratched the surface of his filmography, but if you're looking for some recommendations, these are worth checking out. You may also recognize him as Killa from John Wick Chapter 4. Sometimes you just need good, solid action and the foremost magical words in movie history. 90 minutes or less. The movie's about a SEAL team sent to a black site prison to extract a person of interest. All hell breaks loose when the prison is attacked. In the initial firefight, one of the SEALs, Ash, played by Jack Parr, is shot. The team pulls back indoors and do their best to stabilize him, but he succumbs to his wounds. For all the gnarly tactical action, which is, let's be real, the main reason anyone is watching this, I think Ash's death is the best scene in the movie, and the one that benefits the most from the one-shot approach. His squad mates are reassuring at first, but they quickly realize how badly wounded he is. Notice how what they tell him doesn't change, but the meaning behind the words does.
You got it?
Okay, buddy, we got you. We got you, buddy.
Put the pressure
Doing
back.
great. You never look better.
I got the pressure. I got it.
Doing real well, buddy.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. You're good. You're good. I think his lungs back right now. We got you, Ash. Keep looking at me. That's it.
Stop the bleeding.
You did good, Ash. You did good. How we doing, Wick?
Secure.
Good. Concentrate on me. Look at me. Got you, brother. Got you.
It's a sucking chest.
I need a chest.
Some fucking bronze knife, right?
We got you, buddy. Got you. Got it. Breathing. Okay, Ash. Understand? That's it. That's it. We got you.
The continuous shot makes you experience the emotional shift in real time, giving the performances a chance to shine and the death have more impact.
Fuck! Fuck!
But this isn't just a long take of a character dying. The whole movie's a oneer, remember? Ash dies 4 minutes after he gets shot. And we stay with the squad the entire time. And after he dies, the movie just keeps going.
Myro, this is Phoenix. Phoenix calling Myro.
The inescapable march of time, the cold indifference of the universe, and our fragile mortality, laid bare for all to see in a direct-to-video action movie. I don't know what to say. Sometimes words aren't enough to convey how we feel. Sometimes all you can do is... Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, liking and subscribing goes a long way towards helping me and the channel.